Hello all you YouTubers and friends, and welcome to another show, Sports Talk with Fat Larry, keeping you informed. Just as I promise you, I always try to have some information that some don't have. That'll be discussed later in the show. But we had a busy weekend this past weekend. We had upsets in college, NFL, and locally. So, as I always do, I start with my HBCU, and today will be no different. So what I'm going to do is start off with local school. TSU won homecoming against North American University this past weekend, and it's kind of hard to gauge, but as I tell friends of TSU, like myself, and that is that they just needed to have some type of win. So to make them feel good about themselves, and I truly believe that they will play and show good against Southern. Not saying they might win, hoping they will be a victory for TSU, but I really anticipate them to show up. As I've said from the beginning of the season, that is that we know you're in a rebuilding mode, but at least have your guys fight and show up. Let the team beat you. Don't help them beat you. Let them beat you, or make them beat you. Excuse me. That's what you want to do, is make that team beat you by going out and fighting. So I want to celebrate the victory. TSU won homecoming, and as I said, they needed a win in the worst way. So produced or hats off to them. Another local school, sister school, SWAC school, Prairie View won Thursday on national TV. Good victory for them. They beat UAPB. Arkansas Pine Bluff, pretty good game, but Prairie View has a pretty good defense. So they end up winning that game. And we're going to go around the rest of the league and get some scores. Grambling State beat Alabama A&M University, which is the defending SWAC champ, and they beat them 37-28. They started a freshman quarterback, just like Texas Southern University started a freshman quarterback. Now, I was going to save TSU quarterback for after this. That was the things I was going to talk about. So I'm just going to talk on this guy, this freshman quarterback, that Grambling. They decided to make a move, and that's what they did, and it turned out to be a win for them. You got South Carolina State in the MEAC. They beat Bethune-Cookman 42-35. I think Bethune-Cookman is winless on the season. Mississippi Valley beat North Carolina Central University. That was a big win for Mississippi Valley. That lets me know they showed up. They haven't won a whole bunch of games just like TSU haven't. But they beat North Carolina Central, which is generally a pretty good football team. They beat them for their homecoming 17-16. FAMU beat Alabama State 28-0. As I said at the beginning of the season, FAMU gonna have to be dealt with. Florida A&M University. They got Willie Simmons as their head coach there, and he's a pretty good coach. He was at Prairie View before he left to go to FAMU. So that should have been a pretty good game, 28-0 for all the FAMU people. Southern was off this past week, and Jackson State was off. So I want to get back to TSU. They finally went ahead and have made the decision to go with another quarterback, which not just myself, a lot of other people feel gives us the best opportunity to win. And this is nothing against the prior quarterback. It's just that some people at Bet are doing some things than others. You know, some guys have the skill, and I'm going to degrade and go back to, as an example, Russell Wilson. I feel the most overlooked quarterback in NFL. Doesn't have a rifle arm, but he thinks he has some between the ears, and he can make something out of nothing. You have to have a quarterback like that on all levels. So I used him as an example to speak about TSU's new quarterback, and that's Andrew Body. Mr. Body, I feel, will only get better. This kid was close to winning Whataburger 5A Player of the Year. I felt like we were very fortunate to get him, and I just feel the sky's the limit. We're just gonna have to roll with him and learn, let him learn the ropes and grow with it. Because I see nothing but bright things ahead. And I would like for the TSU coaching staff to continue to be aggressive, not just on offense, but on defense too. I was watching Grambling and Alabama A&M play. They were not getting to the quarterback. So Grambling's defensive coach made an adjustment and decided to start blitzing. And they started getting to Akil Glass, who is the leading MVP for the SWAC. So they knew they could not sit back and let the best beat them. So they started pressuring them. And that's what I want TSU to do. Be aggressive. We have nothing to lose. We have everything to gain. Let's be aggressive. Take a break right here. Hit that subscribe button, that share button, and that like button. And hit that bell for me. But anyway, we won. And real quick, the games for next week. We got, we'll be playing Southern University. TSU will be playing Southern University in Dallas. Saturday the 16th. Grambling State will be playing Alcorn in Lorman, Mississippi. UAPB will be Alabama State. Jackson State will be at Alabama A&M University. That should be a very good game there. Probably be packed. Mississippi Valley State University play BCU in Daytona Beach. That's a good trip for anybody. Any team going to play Bethune-Cookman, just pack your swimming trunks because the beach is like a mile and a half away. And it's such a beautiful scenery for that university. South Carolina State University versus FAMU in Tallahassee. That should be another good game. Former MEAC foes. So there are going to be good games this upcoming weekend. I said 16th. I'm sorry. It's going to be the 9th. Okay? This Saturday the 9th. Prairie View is 3-0. Jackson State is 1-0. Just calling off the Hop School's record right now. FAMU is 1-1. Alabama A&M is 1-1. And so Prairie View is leading. And I think they can hold on. But I'm wishing that one more time TSU can show up against Southern. And I feel like they will. Going off real quick into some NFL or some Major League stuff. Matter of fact, we're going to go to the Astros first. They local. They deserve a little bit more pride, and they World Series champs. They deserve a little bit more clout. Tonight, which is on a Tuesday, they play a wild card game, Yankees versus Boston. To me, that's a pick'em game. They are so evenly matched, but it's going to be in Boston, so I'm going to go with the Red Sox. St. Louis Cardinals are going to play the Dodgers, a wild game. Now, what happened is a wild card game is a one game, win or lose, or take all. So you talking about drama in a game? These games will be drama filled. So you got St. Louis playing the Dodgers. Dodgers had a better record, but St. Louis won 17 games in a row at the end of the season, so they're on fire. I expect they're still playing in Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, so I'm going to go with the Dodgers. In the playoffs, you're going to have Tampa Bay against the winner of Boston and New York. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Houston, our local team, is going to play the White Sox. That's going to be a good series. But if the Astros can just put their hitting and pitching together, they're a pretty hard team to beat. So I'm going to go with the Astros against the White Sox. It's going to be tough, though. San Francisco play the winner of the Dodgers and St. Louis. I'm going to go with San Francisco because they're playing that in San Francisco. Milwaukee is playing Atlanta. I'm going to go with the Brewers because they have home field. So basically, I chose everybody that had a home field because it's kind of like pick 'em. Baseball is very evenly matched. So one more time, if the Astros can put their hitting and pitching together, they should be able to be in the mix all the way through. We got NFL. You know, sometimes you hear a lot of stuff about players doing things, but one of the craziest things happened over the weekend prior to this weekend. The first and the second, a coach from an NFL team supposedly, allegedly, grabbed a woman in the butt at a club as they were dancing, and someone filmed it. I don't know when people are not going to understand that people got cameras and they always on these cell phones and they're always ready to jump at whatever they think might happen. So, but anyway, Urban Meyer, the head football coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, supposedly, allegedly grabbed this woman by the butt. And so he's apologizing and what have you. And I don't want to say it's nothing serious because it's not my body that was grabbed on, but off the surface, you look like the lady may not dragging through the courts if they settle on something. But that's what happened. And so it's not just the players. Sometimes the coaches have mental lapses out in the public. So I'm going to go over the Texans real quick because there's not a lot good to say about the Texans. One of the legends in radio here in Houston, I was listening to on radio, and he made such a wonderful analogy, or he said something very profound. Cully was asked about how Miles Davis, the quarterback, was doing, and he was like, well, it really wouldn't have made any difference if Joe Montana was back there. Wait a minute. As the legend said, wait a minute. Don't even put Joe Montana in the same sentence with Miles Davis. I mean, it's a Davis Miles. You see me asking my crew because that totally slipped me. That's how bad he is. Not to even put him in his mouth. Because if that was Joe Montana, he would make something out of nothing. So don't say Joe Montana could not have done anything, Mr. Gully. But I understand you're just trying to cover up for your quarterback, but that was a bad example. And people are going to begin to start using David Culley as the excuse. But they are an expansion team. Everybody knew that, but they played so well the first week against Jacksonville, which got everybody's hopes up that, well, maybe they might can win some games. And then when Tyrod Taylor went down, it's practically over with. So I'm thinking that the Texans need to just play the young boys, the young players, and try to get themselves ready for whatever direction they're going in. But they're going to need a quarterback. That's just an early observation, and some things could change down the road, but he some things on him, he's just not doing it. I feel he should grasp when he played at Stanford. You know, and Stanford play a pro set occasion. And so I just don't see it, but maybe it'll develop. We got to talk about them boys. You know, I'm from that area originally, Dallas, not Dallas, but Cowboy fan. And right naturally, they are all over the world now celebrating the Cowboys. But for once, I'm going to agree. The Cowboys look pretty tough. They have a defense clicking and the offense. And that's been my beef with them for the last 3 years. The offense might play well and the defense will play bad. The defense will play well and the offense will play bad. They could never get meshed and synchronized together. But now, defense is playing ferocious and consistently. And it looked like Dak is wanting to show Mr. Jones that investment he made him was well worth it, as he is connecting and clicking on everything. Short passes, long passes, you name it. So, Cowboys, I got to give them their due. I'm looking at the Cowboys could, it's shocking to say, early indications show that they could be a Super Bowl bound team. But get with me at the halfway mark and we'll see, because Cowboys got a history of collapsing. One of the good things that happened for the Cowboys is this running back Pollard has made Zeke Elliott find himself again. So they got a nice 1-2 punch. And they got receivers all over the field. Now, some of the other teams that are pretty good, and actually, Arizona has a team that could be headed to the Super Bowl. They have a quarterback that I've been watching since he was in the 10th grade at Allen, Texas, Kyler Murray. He won 3 in a row state championships there. He went over Oklahoma, Heisman. So this kid, they were talking about how short he was and how this he wasn't. But one more time, like we've always said back in the day, losing is contagious and winning is contagious. And that's all this young man know how to do is win. And if you saw the game Sunday when they played the Rams, who everyone picked the Rams to beat Arizona in Los Angeles, I also picked Los Angeles to beat them. You had a kid making something out of nothing once again when he got rushed. Keep those chains moving. He's going to run for the first down or pass. You have to have someone very versatile at quarterback. It's just a must these days because linemen and linebackers are just as fast as running backs and quarterbacks. So you got to have someone that can make something out of nothing. Another good team, Buffalo Bills, demolish the Texans. So what you have there is what I just spoke of with Arizona, Josh Allen. Another quarterback that can make something out of nothing. You got to have a guy like this. There's no coincidence that all the good teams have one. And you'll see when the next team I go through, same way. Then you got the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. You have to have a quarterback that is mobile, agile, and can keep the chains moving. Next team after that, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. Sounds strange calling them off like fourth team, but they only 2-2. But I wouldn't bet against the Kansas City Chiefs. But getting back to the Kansas City Chiefs and their quarterback, Pat Mahomes. I don't even have to say how versatile he is. When you can throw no-look passes in NFL against professional players, that's enough said. Then you got the Chargers, which is one of the last teams I think have an opportunity. They showed real well this past Sunday playing the Raiders. They beat the Raiders. Take a break right here. Hit that subscribe button, that share button, and that like button. And hit that bell for me. So with that said, I want everyone that might be interested. I've had some people contact me and say, Larry, where did you get that t-shirt at? I want to show you the t-shirt that we're going to make available. One more time. We're going to make these t-shirts available for my YouTubers and friends. What you have to do is go to fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. This t-shirt in different colors of white, black, blue, and gray. Need your size, and that all information when you hit me at Gmail, I'll hit you back on cost, shipping instructions, and so forth. Thanks for your interest. With that in mind, I want to make sure that everyone goes out this upcoming weekend and try to support one of your HBCUs. as I spoke of earlier, you got Texas Southern University playing Southern University. Regardless of TSU's record, if you're a true alumnus, which I feel like from going to one of these games before in the past up in Dallas, because we have such a large alumni in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there are going to be a lot of people there anyway. But I'm urging anyone that's listening and didn't know about the game, this upcoming Saturday in Dallas will be a nice trip. They're going to play Southern University at Globe Life Ballpark in Arlington. So then you got, I'm going to go over it again. I know I said it earlier, but I'm going to try to see if we can't get some of you people out at these wonderful games that they're going to have. One more time. You got South Carolina State versus FAMU in Tallahassee. That should be a nice atmosphere there. Mississippi Valley is going to Daytona Beach. And if I went to Mississippi Valley, if there was a game I wanted to go to, this would be the game where the beach is. So once the game is over with, we got things to do. You got Jackson State playing Alabama A&M University in Huntsville. That'll probably be packed because JU, Jackson State University, travels real well. You got UAPB versus Alabama State in Montgomery, which they always show. You got Grambling versus Alcorn and Lorman. That'll be packed. And once again, you got us playing Southern. So with that in mind, I want to one more time get you guys to go out. And if I didn't even call off your school that's got a pretty good situation going on, a good match, you know, I'm talking to you people too. Everyone enjoy their day. And I hope to see you again next time. Peace out.